Okay, so in Qwen AI, there is actually an audio podcast generation tool similar to Gemini, and this one sounds quite realistic, although honestly, it is not as good as the Gemini version, but I think this is actually a decent tool that is now available for free in Qwen AI. So take a listen of this podcast I created on the platform.
So I was just reading this deep dive report on
Coles, honestly, every time someone says AGI, I still don't know.
automating all that.
Whoa, so not just writing emails better than me.
Models are insane at pattern matching Judea.
Okay, I would say it is decent. It is definitely not as good as Notebook LM or Gemini, but I think it is very good, and not to mention it is actually built on top of open source technology, so that's pretty cool. Now, if you are interested and you want to create audio podcasts based on the content that was created by AI, then let me show you how you can actually do it. So let's open chat.qwen.ai, and you have to log into your account because even though Qwen is quite generous, they're actually giving plenty of open source AI tools, and also the platform is not as restrictive as other platforms. It is still requiring you to actually log into your account, because at the moment, if you want to create a podcast, it is only possible under the deep research section. So you have to create a deep research content first, and only after that the content can be converted into audio podcast. So let's say I want AI to do research about the future of, let's say, clean energy in USA in, let's say, 2050. So I'm going to click send and just wait. So it will usually ask you some questions like the specific or the exact details that you want to know, but in this case I'll tell AI to just up to you. Okay, let's send a message, and after that it should be able to start generating or researching the topic. So this process will take several minutes, and I'll just skip forward, and after that I will show you how you can turn the research content into a 5-minute podcast. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so the research has been completed, and if you want to turn the research into a podcast, you can click this create button, and then you can click podcasts, and you can choose one of the 17 voices that are available. Now, I haven't checked all of them, but you can actually click this button to preview the voice. So let me just, let's say I will select randomly. That's gonna be, let's say, Saren, and then the other one would be Nail, and click create a podcast. So this process will take about 5 minutes to complete, and I'll be back and I'll show you the result. Okay, so after about 30 minutes, it's finally done. Now it's supposed to be just about 5 minutes, but I actually have to do this several times because on my previous attempts, it was a failure. So I don't know why those versions, those researchers cannot be open, and so I have to create another one, and this one is fortunately able to convert the content into a podcast. So let's take a listen of this podcast.
All right, so I was just reading this deep dive on the future of clean energy in the US by 2050, and honestly, it's kind of wild how fast things are moving now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard bits and pieces like solar is blowing up, EVs everywhere, but what's
Okay, so first of all, I want to correct myself that this is actually not using an open source text-to-speech technology. It was actually technology closed source from Alibaba, so it is not open source. And secondly, yes, I think I can confirm that it is not a very good, I mean, it is way better than the typical text-to-speech that comes in pretty much every single operating system, but it is not quite close to the quality of Gemini or Notebook LM. So I think there is still a big room for improvement. Still, this is a nice addition to the Qwen chat platform, and I think if you are using Qwen chat a lot, especially for creating a research, this could be a great way to consume the summary of the research. So yeah, that's basically how you can generate a podcast from research using Qwen AI. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. I wish you a great day ahead.